Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are someone who's looking to find a mentor in their career journey, well, then you can come to the right place. In this channel, I talk about all things career, tech, and general adulting in life. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about something very special, which is how to keep your anxiety at bay. So, without further ado, let's get started. But before we do, quick introductions. Hi, my name is Aarushi, and like I said, I talk about all things adulting in this channel. And I have about 7 years of experience building tech and product, and now content creation as well. And in this channel, I just try to be the mentor that I never had. So I'm here to share all of my life experiences, especially in a professional environment, and what you can learn from mine. So today's video, in all the videos before today, I have spoken about how to build a good resume, about a good interview, about networking, and so on and so forth. But today's video is a lot more special because today I talk about something a lot more important, which is this. Yes, maintaining your mental peace is, I think, one of the biggest things, one of the biggest ways through which you can become successful in life. A lot of our leaders, business leaders today, you'll see, I am truly really inspired by a lot of sharks that you see on Shark Tank, like a few that I've seen in the Indian Shark Tank as well. And all of them, like Anupam Mittal, who's one of the biggest ones there, has actually come out and said that he has chronic anxiety.
I have something called GAD.
Okay.
It is called Generalized Anxiety Disorder.
And he lives with it, but he's built such a big empire while having that anxiety. And a lot of the big guys, they all go through mental issues, and still they're big. Maybe they're big because of it as well. So your stress and anxiety also pushes you towards getting better at your art, but you should have a way of managing it. And in this video, I'll tell you how you can manage it as well. So before we start, guys, let's do one thing first. Let's stop expecting ourselves to never have anxiety, to never have any kind of depressing, saddening thoughts in our mind. That's not how life works. It actually takes a lot of the fun out of life if this guy doesn't mess up from time to time. So it's okay, and accept it that there'll be days when you'll be off. Honestly, today, before I started recording this video, I was a little off. I think that's why I wanted to record this, because I just felt, hey, what if people who listen to me feel the same way like I do right now? And I know how to handle myself, but do they yet? And I know because I've had years and years of bad experiences, years when I couldn't handle myself and I cried myself to sleep, but now I know how to handle a bad day. So first thing first, understand what is it that are your insecurities or vulnerabilities. Let me take an example. Like for me, maybe my insecurity is that I will not be taken seriously, or maybe as a woman I might feel that I'm not smart enough in that room, classic imposter syndrome. Now, what are my triggers? When do I get really triggered about it? When is it that I'm the most insecure and vulnerable about these things? Maybe when I'm with a group of people and I try to see if they're listening to me or not, if they're valuing my opinion or not, if they're responding to me in a way where I want them to respond to me in a way. Maybe that's a trigger. Maybe another trigger could be if I sent an email to someone and they responded too late, or maybe they took a lot of time in responding to me and the response was not what I'd expected. Or maybe if someone questioned something that I said and I felt cornered. These could be triggers. These could be things that make me feel about my insecurities, make me feel insecure. Now, understanding what your insecurities are and when they get triggered really is very important. Now, I am able to say my insecurities, and honestly, some of these things are my insecurities. I've always felt about them. Imposter syndrome is really true for me, and I'm in a place where I'm okay conveying to you on this media about my insecurities, but I was not like this. I had a very, very hard time accepting to people that I feel like this. This is what makes me feel really weird. This is what I feel people might be thinking about me, and I feel really bad about it. I don't want people to think about me like that, but it's today I can say it. I couldn't say it maybe a year ago. The first thing that you have to do is call out to yourself what your insecurity is. Call out to yourself what is the thing that makes you feel bad, or what is the one thing that you fear that people think about you. It's okay. I always like to call out my favorite character from Game of Thrones, Tyrion Lannister, and he says one thing: use the thing which is your weakness to your advantage. I'm re-quoting him, but his quote is on the screen for you. But what he says in that quote is, whatever is your weakness, use it like an armor. Call it out to yourself and call it to the world. If you use it as an armor, as a shield, then nobody will be able to use it against you. And I always remember it. So that I think that's one thing that led me to accept my weakness, that maybe this is my insecurity. Insecurity apart, then I also understood my triggers are people. I take a lot of cues from other people. What they are thinking of me was very important for me. So I understood my trigger as well. But then once you understood your insecurity and your triggers, you need to have a way of handling it, a way of reacting to that trigger well. Now there could be various ways of me reacting to that trigger. Maybe one way could be, just an outburst. The other way could be that I socially distance myself from an area where I felt triggered. Or maybe I could just lash out at people. I could gossip about them. I could say bad things about them. Or I just lose my confidence and I stumble. It could be a lot of things. But the one thing that I have learned doing is going into myself, trying to, validate what they're saying. Is that true? What I'm feeling, is that true? Is that a sweeping truth, or is that the truth for that moment? Let's say someone tells me that, hey, that idea that you gave is really stupid. Now, are they calling the idea stupid or me stupid? That's the kind of distinction that you need to do whenever you get triggered. It's not an always you kind of a situation. It's mostly a this time you kind of situation, which is fine. We're all humans. We'll all learn. The moment you make it about you and not the situation, that is the moment where you lose confidence and you stop giving the world the beautiful gift that you are. It's very critical that at that point you do some self-reflection. What has helped me is keeping a journal. Whenever I feel depressed, whenever I feel sad about something, triggered with something, I just, there's a full drive in my laptop where I've written down a lot of musings, a lot of notes, and it's all about, self-therapy. I mean, I just talk to myself and I rationalize things in my document. At times I've made flow charts, I've done weird things there just to structure the thoughts in my head and to tell myself that it's you overthinking. If you do all of, and journaling is my way. Few people like to talk to themselves, some people just like to go to the mirror and just speak, some people have another mentor or a person that they can speak to, maybe a therapist, whatever works for you. But find that thing where you can, rationalize things in your head, tell yourself that what you're thinking is, maybe it is true as well, but maybe it is not. Give yourself that moment. Once you've done that, I think you'll be able to objectively look at what the other person was trying to say and empathize from their angle and maybe work things out. Okay, now that we've spoken about the anxiety in life, let's also talk about how to handle stress in life. Now, those two things are very different because anxiety is when it's all a little bit more internal, but stressors are more external where the thing is actually quite bad. Maybe you have a toxic work environment, a toxic boss, or the commute to work is really long, or you don't like your job, right? Those things are really real and you need to solve for them. Now, in these situations, I think my process is really simple. The first thing is I try to be very clear about my why. Now, for example, I'm doing this YouTube video. I'm shooting videos week on week is a little bit stressful. Like I'm doing this late at night after work and I am a little tired. But why am I making myself do this? Like why that stress is bearable for me? Because I have that why, that long-term why really clear for me, that I want to build this community. I want to give back to people like you who can have a mentor in me, right? So if that why is really clear to you, then the stressors become a little less stressful for you. So be very clear. For example, I'll give you another case where me and my husband, we went to the mountains and we spent like 3 days just talking to each other about what are our values in life. We wanted to make sure that we are both aligned so that we could take the next step of moving to Dubai and seeing if that really matches with our values in life, right? So any big step, anything that you're doing which is stressful requires you to have enough conviction in it. Your child could be a big thing for you. Maybe you're doing what you're doing so that you can provide for them, or maybe you can be a really ambitious person and you want to see your name on the Fortune 30 under 30, whatever. It has to be something big, meaningful, so that you can be driven towards it and the stress becomes a little more manageable. Now that is your why. Now second thing is, when you're doing something for that why, you need to be a little bit certain that this is the right thing towards that why. For example, like I said, I want to build this channel because I want to give back. But is this channel the right way? Are there other ways available? Am I doing this in the most meaningful fashion or not? Now, I don't know what I don't know, and I'm on a path where I've never been before. So how do I make sure that I'm doing the right thing? For that, I can't recommend a mentor enough. Like, yeah, hi, you're here. But also find a mentor who's more aligned to your why, and who's, more personally in touch with you. Now, I know, like, find a mentor is very simple to say, but it's harder to find in real life. What I can suggest to you is a mentor is not someone who's 10 years your senior. They could also be someone who's your age, who's probably a friend. They don't need to be, they don't need to be someone who's a professional, but it's just someone with whom you can talk about professional things. It could be your partner as well. But that person should be someone who can guide you towards the right direction. So they should know a little bit more than you in that field where you want to head, or in that direction where you want to head. Ask them, debate with them, and figure out with them that what is the right direction and are you towards the right path. It's like solving any problem at work front, right? You know the outcome, you know the metric that you want to achieve, and then you figure out what are the right things to do there. So find that mentor. Need not be really senior to you, but they should know a little bit more than you do. Ask them for support, ask them for next steps, and keep on having that spitballing with them, where you keep discussing what the next step should be, and then evaluate if you're in the right path. If you're not, then probably it'll be good to move. So this would actually stand true for any stressful situation. Let's imagine that you are someone who wants to switch jobs. Find a mentor who can help you switch jobs. Maybe right now you're in a place where you want to figure out the careers for yourself. Maybe at this point, reaching out to a few people who in different domains might be useful. Someone who is in your current profile and has shifted to something else might be useful. So find someone who can give you mentorship in the direction where you want to head. And the mentors can keep changing as well. Eventually, it's like friendship. At times you grow out of friendships, you can grow out of mentors as well. But that's okay. So I think these two things of being very clear on your why and using mentors to figure out your how are the two things that I do to manage stress. Even a stressful situation like I had a bad conversation with my boss, I have mentors to help me through that as well. So with that, I give you my 2 pearls of wisdom, which is on how to handle anxiety and stress in a professional scenario. So if you have any more comments for me, please do mention on the comment section below, and do share this video with your friends who you think are in the same boat as yourself, and share your love by subscribing to the channel and liking the video. I'll see you next time. Ta-da!